Good morning. I'm going to begin the yoga class this morning with a quote from Joseph Campbell. We must be willing to let go of the life we planned so as to have the life that is waiting for us. Now, that's very optimistic at a moment in time when the world seems to be spinning off its axis, but I do think that that is really important, being open to potential change. Certainly, I would never have anticipated becoming a yoga teacher in my retirement unless I was open to the possibility of something happening with my practice. So let's keep that in mind, that sense of openness and anticipation of surprise and curiosity in what might come. And even in the present, a curiosity about the present moment. So we're going to do a yin class, a shorter yin class with some longer holds. And we're working to find some stillness and to listen to our body while we are in the process of doing our yin practice. So I'm just going to be sitting on the floor, and I'm going to sit in dragonfly here and have my feet together. It's quite a large diamond in this space, and I'm sitting up. I'm drawing my seatbelt in about 25% in my base of my abdomen here, and I am just sitting and allowing this to open. Now, if you find that it is too much, if you're up here and it's too painful, what you can do is just take I should have said you need some block, potentially, but you may need some blocks, and you may need a strap, potentially, and you also may need something to sit on. I'm just sitting on a squishy beaded object here that is good to keep my hips up slightly, and it helps your pelvis. You tilt forward a little bit, and it helps you protect your lower back when you are doing forward bends. So it's good to know that lifting yourself up with a blanket or something is a useful thing to do. So we're just going to sit here for a moment, and once again, if you need blocks underneath your legs, if it's becomes painful, then you can do that. Otherwise, we're just sitting, and I am just going to find my sense of uprightness with the crown of my head moving up, and my sit bones really centering themselves and feeling the weight of my body here. And we're just going to sit here and just wait, just attend. And while you're doing this, you could we could work with our arms a little bit, and we could work with our arms lifting up and then moving down and lifting up and then moving down and lifting up and moving down and lifting up and down. Good. One more time, lifting up and coming back down. Good. And let's lift our shoulders up and bring them back and down. Shoulders up and back and down. Shoulders up and back and down, and then the other way. Good. All right. Let's drop our head and then lift it up towards the right, and then drop our head again gently and lift it up towards the left, and then the right and the left. Good. All right. Now let's look over our right shoulder and then our left shoulder. Right shoulder and left shoulder. Right shoulder, and let's notice what's going on behind us in our peripheral vision. And just I'm taking off my glasses and I'm going to massage my ear and see if I can adjust my neck enough that it can have a little bit more mobility. So this is it looks like a joke, but it actually works. So I'm massaging my ear, but more important, I'm moving my jaw back and forth and I'm making a sound. Good. Now let's just sit up and then turn towards the same direction and see if you have more mobility. I certainly do. So I just love this. So let's try the other side. We're going to look towards the left. What is the furthest thing you can see in your peripheral vision? Now come back and we'll do the same thing on the other side, massaging our ear and moving our jaw. Good. Now let's see how we're doing on the other side. Yes, I do have more mobility. So I love it. It's a very simple thing to do, but it helps relieve some of the stress in your neck. Good. And now I'm going to drop my chin to my chest and look at my third eye. And then I'm lifting my chin up and looking at my nose. And then dropping my chin again. And then looking at my nose. Dropping my chin. Looking at my nose. Dropping my chin, looking at my third eye. And then lifting up and looking at my nose. Good. All right. All right, so let's stretch our legs out here. And let's draw one leg in. I'm drawing my right leg in. And here, once again, if you want, you can put a block underneath your leg if that makes you feel better. And I'm just pivoting towards my left leg so that my navel is sort of facing my knee here. And I'm going to come down. Now, I'm not going to come down too far necessarily. So I can come down with a straight back up to about here. And I have to kind of adjust my sitting bones a little so that my pelvis will tilt over. And here, I'm just going to stay here. If my lower back is painful, I'm just going to stay here. And if I feel I can move with some ease in my lower back, there shouldn't be any pain in your lower back, but you should be able to stretch forward perhaps a little bit more. But the crown of my head, I'm imagining, is moving towards the opposite wall, towards my foot. This is a lengthening as well as a descent. And I'm just going to hold on to the outside edge of my foot. But you could be holding on to your shin and whatever. You do you. And here I'm just going to stay here for a moment or two. See if I can find my timer. If I can remember how to put it on. There it is. And I find as I stay in a place, in a posture, I'm able to move over time. That is, just the act of holding the pose allows your body to settle in to a different shape, a new space. And here you can use your breath, your inhalations. You might find yourself lifting up slightly with your inhalation. In your exhalation, you might find yourself settling further into the pose. All right, so let's just roll up. Very nice. We spent about 2 minutes in that pose, approximately. And we'll stretch the other leg out and draw this one in. Here we go. We're turning toward that foot, and we are settling down into it. Good. And I'm just holding this pose. This is tighter on this side. And I have a straight back here, more or less. And I am folding over while extending my long-ish spine. And I'm listening to my body. I'm curious about what's going on in my body. As my breath moves into my back body, my ribs feel like they're opening up like wings. The ribs of a bird's wings. Inhaling and exhaling. Could, if your neck is sore, you could use a block on your leg to support your neck. Good. Now let's roll up. And let's come back. Let's go into Baddha Konasana, into a cow face pose if we can. So here I'm going to draw my one leg in, and I'm going to draw the other leg in, and I'm going to have one knee on top of the other potentially. Now that might not be possible, in which case you could just have blocks underneath your leg, or just sit in easy pose with your legs crossed. So here we are, I've got quite ample calves, so it's tricky to get my legs in cow face pose. But Gomakasana, this is called. All right, so here we are. And I'm going to just come forward, and I'm going to put my head on something. My neck is quite sore these days. So it's going to hold here. And as I stay here in Gomakasana, in cow face pose, I will probably find myself settling a little bit deeper into it. And we'll just time it again. All right, now let's come up and we'll just bring our legs out, give them a little shake, see how they're doing. And we'll do the same thing with the other leg on top. So you'll have an opportunity to see how that feels, other leg on top. This is a very radical hip opening, so you have to be ready for it. I'm just going to tilt over from my hips and put my blocks back up to hold my and I'm going to start a timer again. So this time I'm stiffer on this side than I am on the other, but that's okay. It's just body being itself, asymmetry, but I'm listening to my body, so I'm not injuring myself. There should be no pain here. Might be just uncomfortable, in which case just come out and go into easy pose. And you come up now, and you can move your legs, if they're movable at this point, and shake them out. And now we're going to go into pigeon pose. So we're working, this is our hips, we're deep opening in our hips with Gomukhasana, and now we're going to do pigeon, which is very good for your sciatica and your back body, as well as your hips. So I'm just drawing my back leg back. My front leg is on a diagonal. The full pose, your foot is out at 90 degrees and your foot is flexed. Now I can't do that with any alacrity. So I have a larger, I have a smaller angle here, and my foot is pointed. If you're not at 90 degrees, your foot should be pointed. And I'm drawing my back leg back, and I'm coming into my, an upward pigeon here. And I'm trying to get my legs even, my hips even. And you could, if you like, put a block underneath your hip, if that suits you, if it feels better like that. And we're just going to be up here. Now, if you are wanting to come down, you could use a block. You could come down onto your elbows on a block, or you could just come down onto the floor. So you do you. So you find a pose that works for you. If your knee is bothering you, you could come out of it, or you could put something behind your knee, a washcloth or a towel or something to give you a little more space in the back knee crease. And now I'm going to come down. I'm slowly getting to the point where I can move towards the floor, and this feels quite like a release for me. But you might be up higher, which is perfectly fine. You'll do you and see what the benefits are. And here I'm just breathing through my nose and feeling that my back body is very open and that my breath can expand my back. And now let's just roll back onto our hip, and we'll go into a half Lord of the Fishes twist just for a moment, because we're here and we're going to draw this leg around. And here we can find our way onto our hips, even hips, and settle into our mat, drawing that front leg in. This bottom leg, if you like, could be straight out if that feels better for you. And we can simply press our hand into behind us, lift our opposite leg as opposite arm as raised knee, and then rotate from the waist around. You could hold on to your leg, pressing that foot into the ground, or you could use your arm as a lever and stretch around here. And here I am feeling the stiffness of early morning, but I am settling in with my breath. I'm going to draw this leg in. It feels a bit uncomfortable there. And I'm settling in with my breath here. And I'm lifting up. So with each inhalation, I'm lifting up. And with each exhalation, I'm turning slightly around. And I'm feeling very easeful half Lord of the Fishes twist here. Good, and we won't hold that pose that long. We'll come back, we'll press into the ground here and lift up in a counter twist, a gentle counter twist. And now I'm going to just stretch my legs out, and I'm going to just shake them up a bit. Good. Now we're going to do the opposite leg forward. I can recall which leg was forward. I think it was the other leg. And I'm going to come back here. Maybe it was that leg. I think it was that leg. So here we go. I'm going to try this leg. And come back. And this leg is easier for me for whatever reason. And sometimes it's as simple as a lifetime of crossing your right leg over your left. Your hip has a particular learned ability. And here I'm just going to sit up here. And now I'm going to come down onto either my elbows, my forearms, or I'm going to make a pillow with my hands and come down with my forehead to the back of my hands. And here I'm settling in. And you stay where you are. I'm just getting up to attend to an alarm which is going off elsewhere. Good. All right. So I'll set my timer again. And in this quiet space, in this stillness, we can really use our breath to literally empty our mind. We can focus on our breath, inhaling and exhaling. And any thoughts we may have, we can imagine them like clouds in the sky. We can acknowledge there's a cloud passing by, and then let go. And here's another cloud passing by, and then let go. And one more, and let go. And now let's shift back onto that hip. That might feel like a nice stretch here. And then bring our leg around. So I'll just turn around to the camera. You find your own space. And I'm going to draw that leg over the thigh, the foot beside the thigh, and I'm pressing my hand into the mat and lifting up. And then I'm twisting from the waist towards that raised knee and using the arm as a lever or holding onto it and lifting up here. And we're feeling the opening in our chest, and the breath should be coming quite easily. It's a little bit restricted, but notice your breath. The inhalation and the rising up, and the exhalation and the turning round. And we'll turn around and press into the other side in a gentle counter twist. Breathing still. And then coming back. And we'll just shake our legs out here. Feel their liberation. And we can shake our arms out as well. Let's do some mobility work here. I'm just pressing out through my heels in Dandasana. And once again, if you like, you could sit on a blanket to tilt yourself slightly forward and in Dandasana. And the pose Dandasana is a simple one, but a strong pose. It's a staff, it's a support for your whole body. We're pressing out through the heels here, so strong legs, and feeling the elongation here. So let's press our thumbs together, our fingers around our thumbs, and then stretch our fingers out and really stretch them out. Good. Flicking off all our cares and woes, imagining that we are liberated from this present moment and living a strange life with not a thought in our head. All right, let's shake our hands out. Good. Let's press the fronts of our hands out so our wrists are really stretching here. You could draw your fingers back slightly. It's a bit painful for me. I have a strange elbow at the moment, but I'm just a little uncomfortable. And then you can try the other side and see how that feels. Now my arm is stuck a bit. Okay, there we go. So then you can stretch this one back slightly, pressing out. And then go back and try this one again, see how it feels. I like to massage my arms too. They get very sinewy and sore. All right, And try the other one again, drawing it back. Just massaging my forearms a bit here. Doing this. Good. All right, and stretch your palms out. Once again, your wrists. Very strong, strong movement in your wrists. All right, and now let's just rotate our hands around both ways. Very good. And now our elbows will just be the scarecrow, rotating keeping our upper arms level, and then rotating our elbows. Very good. And now shaking them out. Very nice. Now let's go and do a toe sit. Since we're nimble in our fingers, let's work with our toes. And we'll do that for just a few moments, just to keep us honest in our toes. So here I'm just pressing my toes into the mat and coming back. You might have to adjust your baby toe depending on your bone structure. And then I'm just going to sit on my toes here. And I'm going to do some arm movements just to distract myself. I'm clasping my hands and lifting up and opening out. Good. And I'm going to clasp my hands again and lift up and open out. Clasp my hands and lift up and open out. And this time I'm going to clasp my hands behind my back and open my shoulders up, draw my clasped hands down and open my chest. Good. And now I'm going to bend forward slightly, lift my arms up behind me. Good. And I'm going to clasp my hands with the other finger on top and see what that does to my open shoulders and to lifting up my arms here. All right, and then come back, open your arms up, clasp your shoulders, and then open your arms up, clasp your shoulders, and one last time, open your arms up, clasp your shoulders, and then you can lean forward and lap the top of your toes on the ground, the top of your feet on the ground here. Feels very good, like a lovely release here. Good, all right. Very nice. Now we're going to go down on our back, and you could have a strap nearby. And we're just going to open our legs up a little. You could have a block nearby if you like. And I'm just going to use a strap. I'm on my back, and my feet are on the ground. My feet are near my hip. And I'm going to bend my right knee in towards my chest and lift it up, put a strap around my toe mound. And I'm just going to straighten out the other leg. And here I'm going to hold on to the same hand as foot and open out my leg with the strap. Good. And I'm letting gravity do some of this work. If that's too much for you, you could take a block and support your thigh with it on a level that feels comfortable. So you are have more support, or two blocks, or cushions, or you could put it on your foot on a chair or on a ledge. And you can have your hand on the opposite hip to keep your hips level, if you like. And now let's open up your leg and then bring it across and look at the opposite arm. And bring your leg up again. And then bend that knee and draw it into your chest. And put that foot on the floor. We'll do the same thing on the other side, just opening up your groin a little bit here. And we'll stretch out potentially that bottom leg and hold on to the strap with the same hand as foot. And then just open it out here. You can use your upper arm and elbow to keep your leg in the right space. And as you settle in here, you might find your leg descending slightly. Once again, you can use your hand on the opposite hip. So let's stretch out through our heels and see how that feels. And we're breathing into our front body and our side ribs. And now let's lift our leg up again. And we can draw it across here just for a moment if we like. See how that feels. In our hips are quite open from our earlier poses. And now draw that leg up again. Bring the knee into the chest. And clasp it tight. And then put both feet down. Open your arms up. We're going to just shift our hips to the right, drop our knees to the left, and look to the right. Breathing here. And then bring our knees back to center and shift our hips in the opposite direction. Drop the knees to the other side and look. You could look towards the opposite arm and feel a sense of release here. Both of your shoulders are on the ground. Your chest is open. Your breath is coming easily. You could put your hand on your thigh if you like, and you could even draw your leg towards you. You could hook your leg underneath your knee, your foot underneath your knee. So you do you. Decide what kind of twist you want. And then roll back, put your feet on the ground, and let's just extend them out here. If you like, you could put your block, let's bring our feet back towards our hips, lift our hips up and put a block underneath our sacrum here. And this is a very small back bend, but a very nice one. And you could just leave your feet on the ground here, or you could stretch your one heel out and bring it back. See how that feels. And stretch the other heel out. See how that feels. Bring it back. Or stretch both of your heels out into a lovely small back bend. And you may have to adjust the block so that your sacrum is supported. You'll be doing a pelvic tilt here so that you will not feel anything in your lower back. And you can lift your shoulders up slightly and settle them down, opening your chest up. So this could be part of your Shavasana if you like. If it's uncomfortable, then just lift your hips up and remove the block. And we'll stay here for a moment or two. Now I'm going to bring my feet in and lift my hips up and roll down. And then I'm extending my legs out for Shavasana. And I'm lifting my shoulders up, drawing my shoulder blades down my back, opening my chest, feeling a sense of serenity descending on my body, just a sense of openness to what comes, to what is in this moment. I'm breathing through my nose. I'm feeling a strain on my forehead, let go on my cheeks, my scalp, my ears, my jaw. My neck, my chin may tilt slightly towards my chest. And I'll just leave you in silence for a moment or two. And in your own time, you can feel yourself coming back to yourself. can move from the inside towards the outside world. So I read at the beginning this Joseph Campbell quote, "We must be willing to let go of the life we planned so as to the life that is waiting for us. If we're lucky," I should add. And my quote for the end of the class is from Carl Jung. "Your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakens." So these are just provocations for us to think about in the days, in the hours ahead. So, and to feel that sense of awakening your heart. I do think our yin practice, that finding stillness in poses, does help us awaken our heart. So in your own time, you can stay where you are. I'm going to just thank you for joining me, invite you to come next week at the same time, or to look at my YouTube channel, Janice Williamson Yoga, for lots of classes that I've been doing over the last few years. The teacher and the student in me sees and honors the teacher and the student in you. And the light in me sees and honors the light in you. I'm going to dedicate the merit of this practice, put my hand on my heart and another hand on my hara just below my belly. Feel the empowerment of my heart and the heartfelt nature of my power. I'm dedicating the merit of this practice to all those who are suffering everywhere, all living beings. Thank you. Deep bows.